How's it going, guys? My name is Asian and welcome back to another Skyblock video. Today I'll be talking about the most power creep weapon in Skyblock, which is the 50m Midas. So the 50m Midas had its glory days back in the day when Skyblock first came out, when Skyblock was relatively new, and it used to be the best weapon, but now it's gone power creep so much that it's considered one of the worst weapons for its price. It's still a decent weapon, but not as good as it used to be. But before we move on with the video, we gotta do the giveaway winner. So like a couple days ago, I promised a 50 mil giveaway, and no, this isn't a coincidence that I'm doing a 50 mil giveaway on a 50 mil Midas video. But yeah, a couple of days ago, I decided to do a 50 mil giveaway, and today we're gonna be seeing the winner. So 75 of you guys entered, as you can see, 75, and we're gonna be picking randomly. So let's just pick. And congratulations to whatever that name is, and his IGN is that, I guess, and he says, I hope to win. Well, congratulations, you won, because I'll be randomly parting you and giving you 50 mil. And make sure to join the Discord. The link will be in the pinned comment in the description, because I'll be announcing giveaways whenever I do one on there. Now, we also do weekly giveaways there, and it's a pretty good community, but a small community, so I hope to see you there. So my 50 mil Midas has pretty much most tier 6 enchants with sharp 6. It's gilded, fuming, and recombobulated, so it's pretty much maxed out. It probably costs 65 mil to make. Which is pretty bad for the damage it does. I'll be showing you that now. My set is going to be 3/4 Necron with a Tarantula Helm. And my pet's going to be a Wither Skeleton. And by the way, my combat's 50, but my foraging is really bad level, so just keep those in mind. So, with all those circumstances, I do 320k, which is decent, but for the price I'm paying for the sword, is absolutely garbage. So the 50 Midas used to be one of the highest hitting weapons back in its day. But now it competes with other weapons too. So one of the weapons is a One For All Giant, as you can see here. And let me go into Skyblock menu so you can actually see it. The One For All Giant is a damage-based sword. So since it's a damage-based sword, One For All goes good on it. One For All basically doubles your damage with the sword, but it removes all of the enchants, so you're not allowed to have any enchants on it, but it doubles your damage, which is pretty cool. It's maxed out with a Recombobulator, Fumings, and Withered. Yeah, this one's a Withered, so and my Catacombs level is 36, so I'll get 36 more strength than I would actually do without any Catacombs level. So as you can see, this thing just absolutely slaps. It does way more. It just doubles the 50 mil Midas damage, and only costs a little bit more. If we go into the auction house and search up giants and go into the weapons category, we can see that a clean one costs 78 mil to make 78 mil, and then the one I have costs around 84 mil. So yeah, for 20 more mil, you can double your damage basically, and this is probably one of the highest hitting damage weapons, except for the insanely high amount of money Emerald Blade, which I don't have. I don't have a lot of money, and I can't really use an Emerald Blade with this much money because it won't do as much. Yeah, if you have a lot of money in your purse, Emerald Blade's better, but One For All Giant is probably the highest hitting single hit damage weapon. So we know the Midas Sword gets outclassed by the Giant Sword in damage, but now let's see how the most expensive weapon in the game fares against the 50 mil Midas. So by the most expensive weapon in the game, I obviously mean the Hyperion. My Hyperion is pretty good, I guess. It doesn't have a lot of tier 7 enchants, as most tier 6 enchants. It is Withered, it's Recombobulated, it's Fuming. So let's see how it does. So about the same amount of damage as the 50 mil Midas, just a little bit less. If I turned it into a Valkyrie, it'd obviously do more, but I have it as a Hyperion right now, so it does about the same as a 50 mil Midas. So with the release of Floor 5, there was a meme where if you put a Warpstone on an AOTE, it would be as good as a base 50 mil Midas with some enchants on it. The weapon I'm talking about is the Warped Aspect of the End, and why do my potions effects stack up there? So the Warped Aspect of the End has about the same damage and strength as a 50 mil Midas. Obviously, my 50 mil Midas has better enchants, it's Fuming, it's Recombobulated. So we can obviously expect the 50 mil Midas to do way more than this 8 to 9 mil costing weapon. So this weapon does, if I didn't sword swap there, it would, alright, so it does 270k damage. The 50 mil Midas does 320k. So yeah, it's a 8 to 9 mil weapon, so it should do a lot less. But yeah, it's pretty nuts how a weapon that costs this little against a weapon that costs a lot almost does the same amount of damage. but a weapon that does way more damage and it costs way less. It costs less than the aspect of the end too, the warped aspect of the end, is the Livid Dagger. The Livid Dagger, it just swept the floor with all other melee swords. It is considered to be one of the best melee swords, if not the best melee sword, because it's so versatile. It also has a cool ability where you yeet your sword. But it's so versatile and it's so cheap. If you search up Livid on the auction house and go to the weapons and things category, it costs like 7 mil just for the clean sword, and my sword with the enchants and reforge on it, it probably costs around like 9 to 10 mil, which is absolutely nuts. And it does so much more. So obviously the front stab, it does less damage, but the reason is because the backstab does like a crap ton more damage than a Midas if you get a backstab. There we go. We do like 500k against a Midas who just has no abilities, just plain old Midas just doing its damage, I guess. So the Livid Dagger is pretty much way better than the Midas in every single way. It does more damage as long as you're getting backstabs constantly. It also has a 100% bonus attack speed, which means you're going to be hitting a lot faster than the Midas will. And that's going to add up, even if you're doing front hits, it's going to add up to do way more damage than the Midas. When killing high health mobs, the Livid Dagger is obviously the way to go because of its 100% attack speed, which is absolutely nuts. And if you're constantly hitting them in the back, you'll do way more than the Midas will ever wish to do, which is absolutely nuts for a 9 to 10 mil weapon. So the Midas Sword, back in its glory days, it was one of the best weapons in the game, but now, since Dungeons came out and a lot of random stuff came out, it has gone power creep to oblivion. So it's just a mediocre weapon right now. It's garbage for its price, decent in damage. I would really like to see a buff in it, like the damage, but we probably won't be seeing that. But what I'm hoping will happen is we'll get like an armor set that buffs the 50m Midas maybe, or like buffs any type of Midas. Or maybe a talisman that buffs it just to add like an incentive of getting it. Because right now it's really a dead weapon. It's more of a flex or a meme. It's a sad story on how the 50m Midas went on being from one of the best weapons to one of the worst weapons in the game. So yeah, that was my video about power creep. We might be seeing a series on this by doing more power creep weapons. But if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.